On October 27th, 2020, I beat my very first Extreme Demon, Hypersonic.
Yes! Let's go! First Extreme Demon, let's go! First Extreme Demon!
And ever since then, I've made it my ultimate goal to beat as many Extreme Demons as possible. As of this video, I've beaten 149 of them, and I'm planning on doing a massive new hardest for my 150th Extreme Demon. But today, let's take a walk down memory lane and look at all the Extreme Demons I've beaten, and I'll give you my thoughts on each one of them. Starting with, I'm glad that my first Extreme Demon was a pretty enjoyable one. There's a couple parts like Serpunch and Terron that can be a bit rough, but this is one of my go-to recommendations for a first Extreme. Retention is a masterclass of 2.0 gameplay and deco, which just shows why Woogie's the GOAT. Aside from like one or two clicks, it's very consistent and super fun. This is one of my favorite and best executed themes in any level. Every second of deco oozes charm, and aside from the ending being harder than the rest, it's a very good memory level. This level is super iconic, but almost all the gameplay is very jank. My very first List Demon. I struggled a ton with this, but ultimately I think this is one of the coolest extremes in the game. This is way more fun if you don't do it as your first extreme. I had a really good time beating it. The worst of the Acu and Miracle trilogy. There's a bunch of parts that just don't really get consistent. The easiest of the trilogy. Once you learn it, it becomes really fun, but it's almost like Acu difficulty. And the best of the trilogy, it has the godly combo of having the best deco, gameplay, and song out of all of the three. I enjoyed this when I beat it, but I honestly keep forgetting that I beat it as the hardest. It just kind of blends into this era of Extreme Demons. This was supposed to be my first Extreme before I died at 98% and dropped the level. But now, I just get such a nostalgic feeling, and it honestly gets better over time for me. I really like the song in this level, but every part is a combination of inconsistent, unbalanced, or buggy. I don't know why I like this level so much, but the wave and ship are some of the most satisfying gameplay, and the deco is honestly pretty underappreciated. Super enjoyable all the way through. I absolutely love this kind of fast-paced gameplay. This level gets a lot of memes due to the LDM, but it's honestly pretty fun and very easy to pick up. Juho's decoration style really carries the level, and I love the vibe of it. This level is super simple, but also super boring, and it's also kind of carried by the wave and ship parts. This is the best version of Sonic Wave just because it's the easiest. Really fun sync-based gameplay that's really easy to jam to. Also, the color scheme is pretty cool. To this day, this is my worst experience with any Extreme Demon. I died past 70% over 30 times, but I also have Stockholm Syndrome and I think the level is pretty cool. This level is such a gem, bro. It's honestly a pure time capsule, but the duels are also really good. I just don't like short levels. I died to the ending like 15 times in such a short time span, so it was not enjoyable. The one click in this level that I didn't like got fixed by an update, so now it's pretty easy and fun. The atmosphere of this level is unmatched. I also don't mind the slow pre-drop because I think it really enhances the atmosphere. I'm still blown away by so many of the effects in this level. This is one of my all-time favorites. I do not like Black Blizzard as much as most people do. I feel like almost every part of the gameplay has some kind of jankiness to it. But the deco is still really cool. One of the most whatever levels ever. It's like alright, I guess. This level is low-key super jank, but it's also pretty fun. And I love the time period that the deco reminds me of. This level is the most deceptively hard level ever. There's some brutal waves that got me pretty frustrated, but I also think it's cool. You know what level is really good when I dropped it and came back to it 2 different times. But yeah, this is just so boring and uninteresting, and also the pre-drop is like the hardest thing ever. This level has some of the best parts ever created and also some of the most jank. But this dual spider is absolutely amazing. Extremely fun and consistent memory level, and if you ignore the random wave choke points, it's pretty cool. But the wave choke points honestly didn't get to me that much. This level does a really good job of feeling super high energy and fast paced, and I like it a lot. This has some of the weirdest difficulty distribution I've ever seen. I think it looks really unique, but I would honestly not want to play it again. This level is pretty unmemorable, but I find it to just be a super chill experience. Every part in this level is super awesome, but the wave of ship, especially at the drop, are crazy good. This level is a bit of a mixed bag because the middle is pretty good, but the beginning and end are very not good. There's a spam wave in the middle of this level that completely ruins the experience, and it also kind of feels like an insane demon that ended up being too hard. I'm super biased towards Darwin, but I think this is really cool and I love how classic it feels. This is a good level too, but it also feels kind of whatever to me. I can't describe anything about it, but I did enjoy it. Hey, this is better than 8-0. Yeah, that doesn't say much at all. The main difference is that the UFO parts work in this level. My absolute craziest fluke on any level, I fluked it from 55% as a new hardest. I had a really good time, but I feel like there was a lot of difficult spots that I just didn't die to. No, Silent Club Step will never be fun. I never want to play Silent Club Step ever. No, 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 no. I think this got updated recently, but the old version that I beat was bad. Every single piece of gameplay was just so awkward, and the song was the only thing carrying me. Other than Michigan's part, I found this super consistent and had a very smooth experience. I like Ren's decoration style a lot, but I did not enjoy beating this. Another super well executed theme. The intense memory parts at the end are so cool to pull off. This is one of my favorite levels deco-wise, but there's like 2 parts which drag the gameplay experience down. Ultrasonic was my last non-extreme demon hardest, and this level I think really recreates the vibe well. This level was completely saved by the balance update. It is super fun all around. This level just feels like it was mathematically engineered to be as good as possible, but I still think it falls flat. This level just tries to do way too much when the gameplay is pretty poorly designed. Such a classic. It grew on me more and more as I played it, and I like how well-rounded it is. This is just not fun at all, and I did it when it was way above my skill level. The first wave is just impossible, and every other part has something weird about it. It's just a very straightforward, solid extreme demon. I don't have really much else to say. I really hate Necropolis, but I was very pleasantly surprised by this. This wasn't as fast CPS heavy as I was expecting, so because of that, I quite enjoyed it. This level kind of stinks, and it's not even because of the impossible wave. There's like one jank Q part, but the rest is very consistent and good. I just love the look of early 2.1, and despite how dated this level looks, it's still very clean and polished. I ran into a bunch of weird difficulty spikes and choke points, so I didn't really enjoy this that much. This level was really goofy, but it's honestly pretty satisfying, and the art is cool to look at. Such an incredible art style, and the song single-handedly got me into house music. This is so fun and cool to pull off, and it's honestly crazy how consistent you get. I was getting to 70% every attempt by the end. I think this level is just too quirky for me. I'm not a huge fan, but I think it has a nice vibe. I love how the gameplay utilizes the different Kirby elements, and I think it's very well put together. Fun all around, except there's a couple parts that are just a bit too fast and flashy. This level is filled with super unique concepts that have an 80% chance of being consistent. This is a very, very good easy extreme, and I think it's on par with Acu in terms of difficulty. I would also recommend this as a first extreme. Beating this from zero is the single most adrenaline-inducing experience, and I'm honestly still chasing the high. This is the second most adrenaline-inducing playing from zero experience, and it's also really, really good. The wave choke points in the beginning are just so annoying that even though the shift part is really cool, I did not enjoy this. This level suffers from just trying to be fully click sync, but every click has a different nuance to it, so it becomes really annoying. In fact, I'm dubbing this phenomenon click sync-itis. Probably the best of the Sonic series, and I love how fast-paced out the gate it is, which keeps the vibe through the whole level. Very solid all around, but I just don't like it as much as some other people do. A cool atmosphere can't mask the fact that this is one of the easiest levels to fall asleep while playing, and it doesn't help that there's a frame-perfect click at 42%. I love the fast pace and energy of this level, but I did struggle with it quite a bit, but that was just a me issue. This level completely clicked in my brain almost instantly, and I found it extremely fun and consistent. This level holds a really special place to me as a hardest, and I think it's so cool, but it's just dragged down by a couple choke points. Okay, maybe this is the most whatever level in the game. I literally remember nothing about it. This is the single most unbalanced level I've done. The first half is an insane demon, and then the second half becomes absolutely impossible. I probably died to it like 30 times. This was technically my first verification. Being a 2-player level IRL is so cool, and I'm glad the level is straightforward and solid. This is like Boogie if the decoration, gameplay, and song were like 10% not as good. Lit Fuse if it was absolutely mid. You can also do like 4 skips in the drop part, which is really funny. This is 5 minutes of pure bliss and transcendence, and the effects are absolutely mind-blowing. This is my favorite extreme in the game. I just hate how unbalanced the waves are, and it completely ruins the experience despite it looking pretty good. Absolutely banger duels, and the whole thing is very satisfying and fun the whole way through. Aside from one duel near the beginning, this is extremely solid and consistent. The concept was very well executed, but the gameplay did not have that much thought in it. Most of this is fine, but it just leaves a bad taste for me. Woltap makes amazing levels, and I like this one a lot, except the ending just gave me a ton of problems. This is probably my most unknown extreme, but it was really fun. This level is extremely straightforward, which causes it to not be that interesting. This reminds me a lot of Reflective, but it's much better in every single way. And this is my first solo verification. I love the color use, and the gameplay, while not my favorite, is also pretty good. This level had a lot of hype of it being one of the best extremes in the game, and I think it completely lives up to it. This level had a cool vibe, but I think a lot of the gameplay didn't feel very nice to play. It's my very first platform extreme, and I'm glad that since then we figured out how to make better gameplay. I give this level props for being one of the first to go all out with 2.2 features, but it's clear that a lot of these ideas just do not work in practice. This level is very cool as the first legendary rated extreme demon, and I think it was very fun to beat. Honestly, I think this is a very good remake, and I think the 1.9 style complements the original level a lot. This was an overall pleasant platformer experience, but I honestly can't remember anything about it, but I think this is the easiest platformer extreme in the game. I absolutely adore how unique this level looks. My only issue is that the ending is way harder than the rest. This is my favorite platform extreme, and I think the tech gameplay is executed really well, and allowing practice mid-checkpoint was extremely nice to have. There's just so much on the screen to the point where you just end up learning a click pattern when you're not even thinking about it, and I hate levels that do that. A very good 9 circles level, and I love all the unique clubs and monsters throughout. I just wish the beginning wasn't as long. So unique and awesome, and pulling off the whole thing feels really cool. And it's also just super nice to look at. Just a very good, solid memory level, but nothing much else to say. probably the weirdest level I've beaten gameplay wise. I think anything that isn't a duel is pretty good. My current hardest, and honestly I can't believe a level this hard I didn't find a single issue with it. I enjoyed almost every second of playing. This level is super long, but it maintains a great quality and pace throughout, and 2.2 actually fixed it a lot. No, play any other level called Firepower, just not this one. Okay, this is better than the last one, but it's also still not very good. It suffers from click sync-itis. This was a fun experience to beat, but the last screen was absolutely brutal and it took me like an hour. This is another one that I like, but just not as much as everyone else. Chef is my worst game mode, so I had to work overtime to learn how to beat it. This is a super simple and classic level, but I just love it for whatever reason. This is very good looking, but there's just a few parts that have a bit of weird difficulty progression. And the boss fights are honestly my favorite part. I'm not going to complain about feature ratings, but this is pretty good. It's just nothing too special to be legendary. Thank God I fluked this from like 74, because if I had to play Sonic Wave for any longer, I would literally die. Why is this fun? This should not be fun. Like what? This level is very dated, but it's easy enough to get down and has a lot of funny points on it. This is really good as a recreation of Super Hexagon, but it's just Super Hexagon. Like, I don't know what to say. Ah, Bloodbath. And I think Michigan's part is the single most level ruining part in any level. This will be 1,000 times more fun without that part. It's peak, it's peak, it's peak, it's peak. If our love is tragedy, why are you my remedy? This level holds up really well, but the pre-up is just so exhausting and it brought down the enjoyment quite a bit. Aside from the beginning, I found this very enjoyable and it's one of my more favorite Kemal levels. This level is so fun, and I think the Christmas update is one of the coolest things that any level has ever done. Wow, a frame perfect click 40% into a 5-minute level. Where have I seen that before? Yeah, this is just really bad. My current hardest platformer, and I think the atmosphere is really cool, but I'm just not built for these types of platformers because I got so frustrated. This is my favorite of the RGB. It's very satisfying to pull off the ship and wave parts, and I like how short it is. This is a solid level with a cool song, but it's just nothing special to me. This level is super simple, but I absolutely love it, especially with the song, and the wave is like one of my favorite wave parts ever. There's just a few gameplay issues that bring this down from being an absolute masterpiece. No, it was bad enough the first time, and it somehow took me twice as long the second time. This level uses a unique song super well. There's just a few spots where the gameplay feels like it works against you. How is Doggy one of the best players, best video editors, and also able to make really good extreme demons? This isn't as good as Artificial due to the notorious balancing, but each part is fun in its own way. Another solid banger, just watch out for the ending. I went into this level thinking I wouldn't like it due to the song, but both the song and the level grew on me. Not as frustrating as I thought it would be, it's just annoying how the last part is like 90% of the difficulty. Now these next 3 extremes were all rebeats due to me not having a recording. As for Dora Dora, I think the theme is so cool, but the gameplay just completely broke down for me on the rebeat. This is a masterpiece of progression and song representation. Every single part has so much eye candy and a consistent theme throughout. So the reason I had to rebeat this one is because I just forgot to highlight my first completion. So does that tell you about how memorable the level is? The pacing of this level is so weird. You go from super cool sections to absolute trash to a 30-minute clicker minigame. It just makes no sense. This level is over 9 minutes long, and I genuinely felt emotional weight and pressure when I was beating it. This level is pretty satisfying when you get it down, but it doesn't work 100% of the time, and just look at this, bro. Like, what is going on? This is very cool, but I just wish it stuck to the concept of a bit more. This level holds up really well for being so old, and I think it has a lot of iconic moments. And finally, such a funny concept, and it's a pretty solid platformer. I just got skill gapped with the last part. Whew! Wow, that is actually a lot of extreme demons when you put them all in one place. But we're almost at 150 now, so it's no time to stop. Oh, but Bloodlust will be a new hardest for me. Maybe I could get back on the demon list with that. Oh, I just need to go touch some grass at this point. Okay, I think it's been literal years since I've done this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Dude, it feels so good. It feels so green. Oh my god, look at these bushes too. And those trees. Oh my god, it's all green. My shoes are green. My shirt is green. All these green things. And I'm outside in land? I guess you could call that, Bro, this dude is so corny.